There are only 3 ways to make more money in your digital product business. The first one is to build a bigger audience, more people to buy those digital products that you created. The second one is to create more digital products, more things for those people to buy from you. The third one is to raise the prices of the digital products that you've already created. If you are going to go with number 3, I highly suggest that you add more value to those digital products before you raise those prices. And one way to add more value to those digital products is to create a companion workbook. If you've created a how-to guide or a workshop or something like that, a workbook to go along with it is a fantastic idea. And the good news is it is not going to be super difficult to come up with ideas for your workbook because we can use ChatGPT to do that. And hi, if you don't know me yet, I'm Mary Beth Santos. I help you create and sell digital products, things like ebooks, courses, workshops, challenges, and I help you do it faster, more efficiently, with less stress than ever before with the help of ChatGPT. And today I am going to show you a ChatGPT prompt that is going to get you a structure for the companion workbook to your amazing digital product. So let's go. All right, here we are in ChatGPT. I have got a prompt all ready to go. I'm going to paste it in. It is almost a crisp prompt. I have a framework that I use to write my prompts with ChatGPT. I call it CRISP. I came up with that name with the help of ChatGPT. And CRISP stands for context, request, intent, style, and parameters. This one's missing the S. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, this isn't a completely crisp prompt, but because of what I'm looking for, I don't really need to add the style to it. So I'm going to read through it and we'll look at all the different parts of a crisp prompt and then we'll see what output ChatGPT gives us. So as an online business owner, I've developed a guide to finding the best money-making ideas for digital products for my audience of digital product entrepreneurs. So that's a little bit of context for ChatGPT. So it has a little bit of an understanding of what we are about to talk about. Now the request is also in here. Now I want to create a companion workbook to help them apply what they've learned. That's our request, a companion workbook. It's also our intent. The intent of the workbook is to help them apply what they've learned. So that's the I in CRISP. I don't really have any style in here. Style would be like, please write it in the style of casual, funny, something, cynical, snarky, whatever you want your style to be. This is really going to be more just the structure of the workbook, so the style of it is not going to matter too much to me, so I've left that out. Now for parameters, I have added in what I want specifically ChatGPT to give me. Could you assist me in brainstorming the structure, content, and interactive elements for a companion workbook that would effectively complement my guide? So really what I'm looking for, the 3 things that I want to make sure it includes are the structure, content, and interactive elements. So we're going to hit our favorite purple arrow and see what ChatGPT gives us. Okay, so here we are with ChatGPT's output. And I have to say, I love how this came out. And I also have to warn you that you can copy and paste my prompt and put it into your ChatGPT, and you are not going to come up with the same thing as I just did. So feel free to pause and screenshot what I came up with, because if yours is a little different and you like mine better, you're perfectly welcome to use what I have gotten out of ChatGPT. What I love about this is it's really broken things down into a true structure for the workbook that I want to do specifically, but also this could be for pretty much any workbook. So let's take a look at what ChatGPT has given us. The structure is going to be an introduction. You always want to have with a workbook, you want to give some type of an introduction and some type of instruction on how the reader should use the workbook, okay? So introductions are really important for workbooks. Chapter breakdown, you want to make sure you're following like the structure of the guide or whatever it is that you created. And then a conclusion at the end. Conclusion at the end is always a good idea because anybody that makes it to the conclusion of anything that you create, your ebook, your workbook, whatever it might be, it's a great place to wrap up everything that they've just learned, but also it's a good place to let them know about additional resources that you might have. It might be additional digital products. It could just be linking back to relevant content that you've created on the topic of the workbook. Anybody that makes it to your conclusion is probably going to be interested in looking at more things that you've created. So use your conclusions wisely. And that's not just for workbooks, that's for whatever you create. Your content, for each corresponding chapter, consider including the following elements. I love this. Summary, checklist, questions, Pose questions for self-reflection. I like that. Case studies. That's fantastic. Now, you might not have case studies that you can include, which is perfectly fine. You don't have to include every single element, but if you can include case studies, I think that's a great idea. Even if you can break down case study into something that doesn't feel quite so overwhelming as like a full case study, a couple of examples would work really well too. And an action plan. I love it. This is your structure for your workbook. You don't have to think about this now. ChatGPT did it for you, and I can tell you that it did it better than I would have. I can tell you that, and I have no shame in admitting it. Okay, so then interactive elements, worksheets, love those. Templates and frameworks. If you can provide a template or framework for your audience, you can, beyond that you've added a workbook to it, the templates and frameworks are also going to increase the value of your digital product. So that's a fantastic thing to add. A space for notes. Whether they're printing or you've done this digitally so they can fill it in typing, having a place where they can record the thoughts that they're having as they're going through the workbook is incredibly important. While they are typing, they are learning. They are learning and kind of processing the information that you've given them. Super important to leave a space for notes. Mind maps, I like that. Goal setting and tracking is a very smart idea. I'm not a big fan of SMART goals, but some type of goal setting would be great. And a quiz could be fun. I don't know that it belongs in a workbook necessarily, but you could link to it from the workbook. Yeah, I like that. That is literally copy and paste this, okay? Screenshot it, copy and paste it. It's great. This is a wonderful way for any workbook that you're going to create. These are all fantastic ideas. Now, if we go back to the prompt, my prompt was very broad. I didn't write anything specific about what my guide is about. I could have gotten a lot more specific with that prompt, and I would have gotten something much more specific then to the guide that I created. But I'm actually really happy to have a non-specific output here, because this becomes now something that I can just refer back to for every guide or workshop or course or whatever I create. This is going to fit pretty much whatever topic I'm talking about. And it should also work from niche to niche, so it should work really well for you too. So that is it. That is one way that you can start making more money from your digital products. Raise the prices, make the product more valuable. One way to do that is adding a fantastic workbook, following a structure like this. Your people will love it. I guarantee it. All right, if you loved this video, please subscribe. There is a link down below to my crisp prompt framework. You can grab that and you'll be on my email list and you'll hear more things from me. That's it. Thank you so much. See ya.